Greetings, lunatics, Blue Wave here, and rather than review episodes of the latest season of MLP, I've decided to do more theory/analysis-based videos since they're a lot of fun to do. So for today, I'm going to explain the meaning behind the ownership of the main six's pets and how it relates to them in terms of personality and character. Let's begin. I don't know why I did that, but who cares? Now then, what exactly goes into the process of picking out the right pet? Why do some individuals feel more compelled to own a dog over a cat and vice versa? Well, it's very simple actually. How one goes about picking out the right pet depends solely on the individual. Most of the times, people look for a pet that they feel reflects their personality or just happens to resemble the personality of someone they know or idolize, say a significant other, best friend, or celebrity. As for the reason for owning one, it mostly boils down to the need to have something to cherish, love, or fight boredom with. Knowing that, let's start this list off with Applejack and her pet border collie, Winona.
One more for the road?
According to most of the studies I looked up for this video, dog owners tend to be extroverted, agreeable, and conscientious individuals. This is because they tend to have a high sense of right and wrong, and are known to be people that stick to their principles. They also aren't prone to laziness and prefer to keep themselves busy and entertained. To me, this fits very well with Applejack's character since she's a pony that tends to stick to her guns and upholds the value of doing things by herself on the family farm. She's also known to value both honesty and the needs of others more than her own and will go above and beyond to satisfy them, whether it means going against her own principles and withholding certain truths from others for fear of disappointing them. Applejack shows that she will always work towards her goals and will never back down from a challenge. In my honest opinion, the ownership of Winona shows that like border collie breeds, Applejack is an energetic, intelligent, bold, and confident individual that never falls short of being a hard worker. Family and friends will always come first in her eyes, and much like her honesty, she's a pony that will always stay true. And from there we move on to cats, more specifically, Rarity and her Persian long-haired cat Opalescence.
Blend color informed you think it looks cheesy?
Now this one was a little tricky since some of the stereotypic personality traits associated with cat owners don't really match up with Rarity's character at all. However, there are some aspects of them that I believe fit very well with her. Some are, but not limited to, being very creative, adventurous, and highly intelligent. Throughout my research, I found that it's because cat owners tend to have a lot of free time on their hands, most of which they devote to their personal projects and special interests, such as art, studies, and ways to further perfect their craft for the praise and admiration of others. Because of their sense of creativity, cat owners tend to follow their own set of rules and often break others that try to hold them back. Which is why we see Rarity constantly working to make newer and better designs for her outfits and fix anything that doesn't fit her standards, because she doesn't want to feel limited or forced to conform to someone else's set of rules if they prevent her from getting the most out of her work. Opalescence, while not as affectionate and outgoing as Rarity being a cat, does fit very well with her character since, while they're sometimes selfish, do display generous acts to those that show them generosity in return, such as bringing dead animals back to share with those that they consider family. Remember, it's a compliment, not a disgusting habit. Opalescence has also shown to have quite a bit of Rarity inside her as well, when she tried to keep her focus on completing Twilight's birthday present and has specific needs and requirements in order to feel comfortable in her daily routines. To put it into perspective, the acquaintance of Opalescence is not only symbolic of both Rarity's creative and aristocratic side, but also of rebirth and resurrection. When something goes awry, she steps up to fix it and make it better than what it was before. Like all artists, they thrive on their mistakes to always keep them focused and ready to adapt to anything that comes their way, showing both the worst and best parts of them to the admiration of their friends and customers. And that just about covers cats and dogs. Now let's move on to something completely different. The ownership of unconventional pets, starting with Pinkie Pie and her pet alligator Gummy. So pay close attention to this one, cause this is where it starts getting interesting.
Go, Gummy! It's a birthday! Go, Gummy! It's a birthday!
Pinkie is a very unique pony, no doubt about that. She goes through life with a smile on her face and always tries to see the brighter side of things no matter the situation. In her eyes, nothing is too strange or too difficult to handle. So then, why own a pet like Gummy, whose docile behavior and vicious reputation is a complete contrast to her zany and over-the-top personality? Well, as it turns out, Gummy and Pinkie Pie are more alike than you think. In her earlier appearances, Pinkie was seen as sort of the idiotic goofball of the fandom and was mostly there for comedic effect. But as the series progressed, it became clear that beyond all that was a pony with heart and a sense of logic to her illogical behavior. Alligators are some of the most misunderstood exotic animals out there and are pets that only the most experienced caretakers would ever attempt to own. By nature, Gummy is a vicious predator that when fully grown would show no hesitation to biting the hoof that feeds it, but beyond his instinctual predator exterior is an individual with emotions and profound thoughts about the meaning of life, as revealed in the episode Slice of Life. Out of everyone in Ponyville, Pinkie is the only one that sees and understands that about him, even going as far as to have actual conversations with him. It's almost as if she could read his mind and knows that he's not a real danger to anyone. In a way, Gummy is sort of like Pinkie's sister Maud, where his philosophical and well-mannered personality is overshadowed by the observation of others and the way society expects him to act due to his carnivorous reputation. To me, the ownership of Gummy is of two misunderstood oddballs who see the world and its inhabitants in a different light beyond that of societal rules and expectations. She's a pony that's open to new experiences and is adventurous when it comes to novelty seeking, having something that's out of the ordinary. And while others may find her scattered and prone to irrational behavior, she's actually a well-balanced individual that finds both sides of any argument laughable. Wow, who knew the ownership of an unconventional pet could say a lot about a person? Let's see what Twilight's unconventional pet, Owlicious, whose species I'm still trying to figure out, says about her.
I just had to make this little bow for you.
Keep in mind, while I wasn't able to find much info on people that own owls specifically, I was able to find a bunch of information on bird owners to still make a fair and in-depth analysis on this particular pony-pet relationship. So, what exactly did I find, you may be wondering? Well, in addition to being described as expressive and socially outgoing, bird owners are also polite, caring, and are quite satisfied with the career choices they've made in life. Heck, some have even been known to be socially dominant, as in they're typically seen as the smarter, wiser member of their circle of friends and try to approach a situation in a way that works to sway others onto their side with a compelling argument. However, one thing worth noting about this particular aspect is that it only applies to female bird owners, so sorry fellas. Aww. The more I looked into this relationship, the more I started to see a connection between Twilight and Owlicious. Going back to the first episode, Twilight's character was shown to be against social gatherings and preferred to work alone when it came to her studies or assigned tasks from Celestia. But after the events of Friendship is Magic Part 2, she slowly started to progress into an outgoing and caring individual that with the help of her friends and mentor, would later learn her true destiny and then become the show's fourth Alicorn princess due to her leadership and extensive knowledge of both magic and friendship. Owls, while not very social creatures, are known to be symbolic of knowledge, wisdom, magic, mystery, protection, and the ability to cut through illusions and see what is truly there. Human, or in this case, pony-imprinted owls, are also known to be quite fond of routines, even going as far as to show signs of stress if any of them were to be disturbed. Sound familiar? Like owls, alicorns are and continue to be creatures surrounded in mystery, showing signs of great wisdom and balance, but also representing both darkness and illusions. To me, all of this fits perfectly well with Twilight's character arc, and is why I see the ownership of Owlicious as a symbolic representation of her progress throughout the series and her change from a secluded bookworm to a beloved protector and mentor of friendship. To quote from Yvonne Ball, knowledge is power, but enthusiasm pulls the switch. Knowledge is important, but it isn't everything. However, for this next entry, I think she could benefit from learning a thing or two about the importance of knowledge and studying. Up next, we have Rainbow Dash and her pet tortoise Tank.